All right, let's just get right into it. If you're in your 30s and you're just now really starting to think about saving, I'm willing to bet there's this one heavy thought that keeps creeping in. It's this feeling that you're late to the party, right? That the race started a long time ago and you're still on the sidelines. But what if that feeling, as real as it is, just isn't the whole truth?
Does that hit close to home? That's that voice inside your head. You probably don't say it out loud, but you can feel it. It's that sinking feeling you get when it feels like everyone else got the playbook for life and your copy got lost in the mail.
You know, if you're nodding your head right now, you are so far from alone. It's this whole cocktail of feelings, isn't it? A little bit of guilt for not starting earlier, some regret about past choices, and then you've got this constant low-level pressure every time you scroll online and see someone else's success story.
But let's take a second and reframe this. That feeling isn't a sign that you failed. It's a sign that life happened. Your 20s, they were probably for figuring things out, for making mistakes. For a lot of us, our 30s are the first time we even have the headspace to think about something as far off as retirement, because the present has been so incredibly demanding.
And this is the reality of it, right? I mean, financial advice sounds simple in a book, but life is messy. You've got family to think about. The cost of literally everything just keeps going up. You've got a mortgage, other debts. Maybe you're even helping out your own parents. And right in the middle of all that chaos, this quiet, kind of terrifying question starts to pop up. What happens when I can't work anymore? That fear, it's paralyzing. It can keep you stuck right where you are. But here's the thing. A lot of that paralysis comes from a few really dangerous myths that we've all been told. They sound like common sense, but they're actually just roadblocks. So let's tear them down one by one.
Okay, first up is the biggest one, the myth of the perfect start. The idea that you have to start in your 20s or you've already lost. But think about it like this. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The person who sprints out of the gate but gets tired and quits after 5 miles, they don't finish. But the person who starts a little later but just keeps a steady, consistent pace, they cross that finish line. Your commitment now is way more powerful than a head start you didn't have.
Then there's the income myth. Oh, I just don't make enough to save for retirement. And that is such a trap. For most of us, the problem isn't actually the size of our paycheck. It's the fact that we don't have a system. It's about building a pipeline, even a small one, that automatically channels money where it needs to go, instead of just trying to fill a leaky bucket every month. And this last one, this might be the most damaging one of all. The idea that retirement is some exclusive country club just for the super rich. It makes good people give up before they even try. But we need to redefine retirement. It's not about yachts and champagne. It's about a fundamental human need, the freedom to live without being terrified of your bills when you're older. It's about peace, not luxury. Okay, so we've busted the myths. Now we have to have an honest talk. We need to look at what actually happens when we don't prepare. And I'm not talking about some over-the-top drama. I'm talking about the quiet realities that play out for millions of people every single day. Look, this isn't about scaring you. It's about being clear-eyed. The most common outcome is having to depend on your kids, which puts a strain on them and slowly chips away at your own dignity. It means working a job when your body is screaming at you to stop, not because you love it, but because you have to. It's a life of constant, grinding financial stress.
And all of this is getting harder because of two silent forces. First, inflation. It's basically a thief that slowly steals the buying power of your money. The cash you have today will be worth less in the future. And second, the good news is we're living longer, but that also means your retirement could last 20, maybe even 30 years. That's a long time to fund without a plan.
So, if you're still listening, that tells me you're ready to do something about this. And honestly, that is the biggest step. So let's pivot from the problem to the solution. The great news is the strategy to get started is way, way less complicated than you think. It's really about having the right mindset and doing things in the right order. First things first, we have to redefine the goal. Forget the Lamborghinis you see on Instagram. Let's aim for a calm retirement. What does that mean? It means living without fear. It means waking up and not having a knot in your stomach about money. So the first step is to ask yourself, what does enough look like for me? You get to define that, nobody else. Okay, so here's the game plan. A simple 3-step foundation. And listen, the order here is absolutely non-negotiable. Step 1, you have to build an emergency fund. This is your financial firewall. It's what protects your long-term investments from life's inevitable surprises, so you never have to steal from your future to pay for your present. Only then do you move on to consistent saving, and then finally, to invest.
And this really gets to the heart of it.
We all wait for the perfect time, or for when we have enough money to get serious. But that moment almost never comes. A small amount, even $50, that you put away automatically, every single month, without fail, that builds a foundation far stronger than some grand plan that you never actually start. Action beats intention every single time.
Now, I want to talk about the single most valuable, most powerful asset you have right now. It's an asset that people in their 30s have in abundance, but they almost always forget about it. Let's talk about time.
Let's just put a number on it to make it real. If you're 35 today and you want to retire around 60, you have 25 years, a quarter of a century. In the world of building wealth, that is a massive runway. That is more than enough time to build something really meaningful.
And why is that time so valuable? It comes down to one magical word: compounding. The easiest way to think about it is a snowball rolling downhill. It starts small, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and faster. Your money does the exact same thing. It's not very exciting in the first few years, which is why so many people give up. But over decades, the effect is absolutely profound.
So here's the real takeaway. Your discipline is way more important than the amount you start with. Seriously. Who wins in the end? Is it the person who started at 25 but was all over the place, stopping and starting? Or is it the person who started at 35 but was just relentlessly, boringly consistent month after month? I'm telling you, it's the consistent person. Your job isn't to fix the past, it's to master the present.
Okay, we've busted the myths that were holding you back, we've faced the reality of what's at stake, and we've laid out a simple, practical strategy. Now let's bring this all home. Let's focus on turning this feeling of motivation into actual real-world momentum.
But before you run off and start, you need to know the traps. The number one mistake isn't starting late, it's quitting halfway through. So please, don't wait for a perfect time that's never going to come. Don't panic and get too aggressive trying to catch up. But most of all, whatever you do, do not stop.
So let's make this real. Right here, right now. I'm asking you directly. What is the one, simple, non-negotiable action you are going to take before this week is over? Not next month. This week. Are you going to open that high-yield savings account for your emergency fund? Are you going to set up that first tiny automatic transfer? Decide on one thing.
Because here's the absolute truth of it. One day, years from now, you're going to look back. And in that moment of calm and security, you're going to remember the person you are today, the one who felt a little scared, a little behind, but decided to take action anyway. And I promise you, you will be so incredibly grateful that you chose to start.